What is going on? Hit that subscribe button. I go live every weekday. And hit the notification bell so you can get notified, because sometimes I go live in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, depending where you are in the world. Midnight, early in the morning. I don't know what time it is there. I can't tell all that. I do like that feature on the iPhone where you can have the multiple times and weather of all places around the world. I don't know if you utilize that, but I filled it up to where I can't add anymore. Or is it the weather one I filled up? One of them. Anyways, I have a solution to all of Earth's problems. It was in an article that's breaking. It was published 7 minutes ago, by now 10 minutes ago. But you ain't gonna hear this in the news until tonight, tomorrow, next week. News doesn't pick up on the things I'm talking about. I am scouring the internet for all of Earth's solutions. Oh, hold on one sec. I gotta do this again. All right, don't lose me. Don't lose me. Don't lose me. It didn't freeze. Okay. But I have the solution to all of Earth's issues. I mean, this is it. It was in that article. I'm reading this article about an ancient snake, the bones found by miners in India. And the bones look terrifying. Have you ever seen bones of a dinosaur? You ever, like any of the museums that have actual dinosaur bones? Absolutely horrifying when you're standing next to one of those, being like, this walked on Earth? Holy shnikes. But thank God Jesus fought them all and defeated the dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure that's how evolution goes. Or the creation story. I don't remember which one. It's a loose interpretation, but I'm almost positive it was Jesus fought the dinosaurs. Jesus won for mankind, and here we are. I think that's it. Anyways, I didn't pay attention in my Catholic school. That's probably why I closed down, which it did. That's not a joke. My school closed down. So when I was trying to enter into this law school, they were like, we need some transcripts. And all my schools closed down, my college and my high school. There's no proof of me ever going to school besides my dad. Anyways, this ancient snake's bones are absolutely terrifying. And this ancient snake that lived 47 million years ago, by the way. So let's take that into account. When I say ancient, I mean like, you know, I think it was time traveling Jesus who went back to fight the dinosaurs so that way man could rule. Because obviously if these things existed, if a snake that was 2,200 pounds, they said it was 36 to 50 feet. That's bigger than imagine when the school bus pulls up to pick up your kids for school. And instead it was a snake that was even longer, like 2 school buses. Yeah. I mean, you have no chance. I don't care if you have 500 crocodile hunters. I don't care if we resurrect a crocodile hunter. Rest in peace. God bless him. He was amazing. Steve Irwin. Loved him. Absolutely loved him. But it doesn't matter how many crocodile hunters you have. If you have a 50-foot, 2,000-pound snake, your town's going to hell, okay? That's where the pets are going. Don't let your dogs outside. And then I remember reading, because my son's obsessed with this MIT Harvard geneticist who started Colossal Engineering or Biosciences, started some company, and they're trying to re-engineer the woolly mammoth. I don't know if you heard this story. It's old, but they just had a re-update in March of this year. So, I mean, this is like ongoing. This is what the billionaires are investing their money into. And this is like the one thing I support wealthy people doing. Creating real-world Jurassic Park. And what they said is because they have like the stem cells that closely mimic not mimic, but are the closest relative to the mammoth is the Asian elephant. Because with the stem cells and the way they can splice and do all this genetic modifying and engineering, they are going to bring back, again, not the actual woolly mammoth, but an elephant of size, scape, look, with fur that can live in a cold climate, and essentially an adapted, new, re-engineered woolly mammoth. And that's what they hope to establish again on Earth. They don't say why. You know, rich people are never going to be like, why are we doing this? For fun, because we got the funding, you know, like, because we can. And usually when the answer is because we can, it might not work out that well. Life finds a way, as my least favorite actor, Jeff Goldblum, says, as he plays the same character in every movie. Fight me in the comments. Do people like Jeff Goldblum, or is he just worn his way out? After he did those apartments.com commercial, I was like, people got to see through this facade. So anyways, the snake in India that was just recently unearthed by these miners. 50 feet, 2,000 pounds. I thought that's a good way to like solve life's problems, right? You ever seen like a Godzilla movie or a kaiju movie or Titan movie, Pacific Rim or anything like that? Like in the beginning, they're very clear. They're like, we were attacked by these big monsters and the earth came together. We dropped everything. We stopped wars, protesting. We realized the greatest threat to humanity was in our face and we had to come together, right? And I thought, maybe, just maybe, the resurrecting of an ancient snake that could just eat your town without like, much of a hassle. I mean, I guess we would have weapons, but would they engineer the snake to be able to resist some? I mean, you got to imagine a snake that big's got to have some kind of bulletproof skin. Those scales and they can shed their skin. Anyways, we'll work out the details later. But resurrecting a woolly mammoth, an ancient snake, and what do you think comes next? Like if they resurrect the woolly mammoth, do you think they're stopping there? Do you think they celebrate? In this NPR article, by the way, I put all the articles in the description. You can read this stuff. I'm not making this up. They found this ancient snake. They're resurrecting the woolly mammoth. I mean, it's only time before they figure out how to extract DNA from bones, if they can do that. Or find that little mosquito covered in amber. But even in the article from NPR about the woolly mammoth, they said this is like, going to Mars, the first one to land there to celebrate. And just like when they talk about these rich people are like, we're going to go to Mars, people are like, why? It's a dusty old hot planet. There's no oxygen or whatever they say about Mars. I don't know. I'm not into space. I can tell you about the 70s, but I can't tell you much about space. It's so vast. There's so much to cover. But just like wealthy people going to Mars, do you think, like if they land on Mars, they're like, we did it. Next. No. They're like, let's colonize it. Let's send people there. Let's send poor people there for an hourly Mars hourly wage to set up these colonies with the robots. And they're going to continue on. So just like if this Harvard, MIT, of course it mentioned Harvard and MIT, geneticist company, private profit company who's creating mammoths for, again, he didn't establish why. It wasn't like we need mammoths in the North Pole, duh, they're going to save the icebergs. Like there was none of that. They didn't consider like, what if the mammoths start fighting the polar bears? These poor polar bears that are trapped on little ice cubes trying, you hear these stories like a polar bear swam for 14 months just to find a little piece of ice to live on. Like what happens when the mammoths start fighting the polar bears besides great world star videos, okay? Besides the amazing bear mammoth fight videos on YouTube. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, I don't see this as a good thing outside of them becoming a threat to humanity. That's the solution. Because once we have something bigger than us, and honestly, I can think of no other reason that these wealthy people are doing this, but they don't know. See, that's the great thing. They think they're like landing on Mars in the genetic field. But what they don't understand is once these animals need more room, you think a mammoth is going to be like a bear when a bear comes on a porch and they're like, hey, shoo, bear, and they spray it with pepper spray. You think a mammoth gives up? Have you ever seen elephants get mad when humans are doing tours through their land? Yo, that's why those 4x4s can go so fast, because if an elephant decides it's angry, there's no stopping it. Kevin, what's up? Good morning from Lakeland, East Coast. So yes, it is morning. Oh, and make sure you hit subscribe. I go live every weekday. Hit the notification bell. It's free for you to do. It means the world to me. Really, I'm trying to hit one more subscriber. So if anyone could subscribe, it would mean so much. I've been at 1,209 for so long. If I could get to 1,210, it would mean the world. So if that's you clicking the subscribe button, thank you. 1,210, getting me out of 12.9 is, it's been a goal for a couple of days now because I keep saying that. I just need it to happen, please. I can't do this without you. And who else is going to bring this? I mean, we are in the know. Everybody in this chat knows what's coming in the future. We're going to be prepared. Because I got to say, you got to have an underground bunker or a really good tree fort to... Good morning from Southie. What is up? Right down the street from me. NASDAQ Nomad. Oh, I love your name. And let me know if you jump in the comments, if your YouTube channel, if you do something on YouTube, yo, let's give it a shout. Let's send people over to you too. I believe in supporting small creators, and medium-sized and bigger creators, as long as it's not Mr. Beast. Let's be honest. I'm so tired of him surviving somewhere. It's like, Jesus, we get it, buddy. You're rich. You could survive anywhere. That's how you got to the island. A private plane, a luxury. Okay, I'm sorry for all the Mr. Beast fans. I say this with no ill intent, truly. I think he does good, but he's just boring AF, and YouTube's always spitting him in my feed. So what's up, Southie? The NASDAQ Nomad. We know what he does. That is such a cool name, though. I'm sorry. We'll get back to the mammoths being reintroduced. But like I was saying, I just really like that name. I love a good, clever name. I don't know if I should tell about the email name that I really love. This guy I worked with in radio, had the most clever email, and I envied him for so long because I was like, that's so brilliant. Kevin, I'm here at Citrus Connection bus terminal in Lakeland. This is my 20th year working here. Yo, congrats, man. 20 years. Hopefully they treat you well, because I remember growing up, people would work somewhere for 20 years, retire. They would have, like a good, steady career, and these companies wanted people. Just like, if you don't believe me, go back and watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where there was a Christmas bonus. Clark Griswold was going to put in a pool. He had spent his life at this company. That's why he was so mad. So that is awesome. 20 years. Congrats. And hopefully they treat you well. That's why I say, like, hey, if you could pray for me right now, that would mean the world to me. Pray Jesus resurrects my radio career. I need these prayers. I'm going for this position. And I'm just in limbo right now. I'm waiting to hear. I've done 2 interviews. I'm going for a 3rd. So if you could pray for me, that would mean the world to me. WTSP Channel 10 News would like to do a story on me here. Oh, snap, do it. And then put it on YouTube. Put it on your YouTube channel. And we'll watch it. NASDAQ Nomad. Love that name. It's such a sick name. So anyways, so like this article says, again, all the articles are in the link. Oh, because I was going to talk about an actor from 30 Rock who got canceled. I don't know if we're going to hit that. But this mammoth story, I feel, is so important. And the ancient snake they just found in India that is larger than a bus. Imagine that, 50 fucking feet. That's 5 basketball hoops. I didn't know either. They put in the article that the biggest snake right now is like 30 feet, which is horrifying. No man has a match against that. I'm sorry. I'm sure Kevin probably knows. He's down in Florida. I'm sure they have like man versus snake fights down in Florida, probably. Like, you can watch these guys fight snakes. So the article mentions that, there is no stopping. They're not going to stop once they recreate this artificial mammoth. And I fear for what's next. If you've ever seen an emu, is it the emu or is it something? It's like a bird, like an emu, but they have raptor talons. There's one at a farm over by where I live, like not too far. If you've ever seen an emu, you like can't get close to these things. Or I'm horrified of them. You can get up to the fencing, but I just would rather not, because to see a bird that's taller than you, that's like 7 foot, 6 foot, whatever it is, that has talons like a raptor that could disembowel you in a moment, like if you looked at it wrong, this bird could just end you, is terrifying. And to think these wealthy people, instead of like trying to cure cancer with genetics, I'm sure that's happening, but instead of like trying to cure the common cold or like all these other things, they're trying to reestablish or resurrect a modified woolly mammoth. And what they're doing after that, nobody knows, like, there's no regulations on this. There's no like, hey, you can't just make dinosaurs. And let's be honest, the public's probably freaking out for this to happen. My son is, I am, and no one's thinking of the consequences. Maybe that's why these other wealthy people want to go to Mars, because they're like, yo, as soon as they reintroduce this mammoth, they're going, Let's get the genetics from the emu. And let's try to bring back. Is there big birds? Weren't the dinosaurs birds? But as soon as they bring back a dinosaur, we're all screwed. You don't beat that. I mean, has nobody watched Jurassic Park movies? Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, whatever it is. Like, we're done for. Absolutely screwed. And this is happening in real time. This is happening while we sleep, folks. Kevin, do you have an email that I can contact you? Yeah, man, go to my website, bostonrob.com. And on the contact page, you can hit me up. I have a form. So yeah, hit me up on there. And please, anybody joining, watching this later, hit subscribe, hit the little notification bell. I do live streams every weekday, sometimes twice, sometimes on the weekends, but I give you my word, every weekday. And if you could subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Again, I want to do this way better setup. I want to be able to have a setup with the computer where I can bring these articles up. I can show you this stuff firsthand. Best I could do right now is put all the links in the description of the stuff I talk about. But man, do I really want to be able to bring this stuff up on a computer screen for you and do these lives proper. I'm not there yet, but listen, if we keep getting subscribers, people like and comment on the videos and do whatever for the algorithm so we could bump Mr. Beast out of his 500th I survived video. I could probably monetize this channel and start putting some of that money, or all of the money, back into the channel. That's all I want to do. Is do this channel better. Right now I got like a old iPhone that I'm praying keeps working, even though, you know, you bump the screen and it doesn't light up. So man, I really want this YouTube thing to happen. I can't do it without you. So those who have subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't, please hit that little subscribe button. The other story I want to talk about, which I thought was fascinating, is I don't know if anybody ever watched 30 Rock, probably my favorite show in the history of TV shows. You could watch it all on streaming somewhere probably, or you might have to buy it. I own the DVDs. That's how old I am. And Alec Baldwin's assistant in that just got canceled. He came out as gay. He was supposed to do a anti-bullying talk at a school, and they canceled him because on his website they said he was a political activist, and they were afraid he was going to veer off topic and talk about politics. And I thought, isn't that like the most important thing we could teach kids, like about politics, you know, about the people that are changing the laws as they speak that are going to affect them for generations? Like, who cares what side you're on? I mean, I guess everybody does, but still, just to and especially from this guy's position, to be able to speak from his life experience and say like, hey, this is how the laws, the politicians have affected me. And they're canceling him. They're truly canceling him because he's not allowed to do his anti-bullying speech. So I thought that sucked, and I loved him as an actor, so I wanted to bring that up. Again, all these stories are in the description. But this snake, I hope you go click on the article about the snake they found in India. I don't think they're going to resurrect that one yet, but the fact that they're doing the woolly mammoth and they have no, like, they're treating it like the Mars landing is horrifying. Because you know what that means. Just like these billionaires that want to land on Mars, they're not stopping there. So if they resurrect this woolly mammoth, they're going to start looking around. They're going to get bored. Their fingers are going to get fidgety. Their old little test tubes and geneticist machines and laboratories are going to feel a little empty after those woolly mammoths are roaming around the Arctic, the North Pole, which I'm excited for. But what happens after? That's my question to you. Do you think they just stop there? Do you think governments intervene? Or do you think they open Pandora's box and resurrect something that cannot be controlled? And just like in the beginning of any Godzilla movie, the narrator tells us humanity had to come together. We dropped all of our differences and come together to fight a common enemy. And if they resurrect something more dangerous than the mammoth, like a T-Rex or a raptor or a pack of raptors, which they learn to open doors, we're effed. Do you think that would solve all humanity's problems? Would we come together over that united cause? Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments if you do any of this stuff or if you know any more about it, because the most recent article I could find, because my son asked me all the time when we can see the mammoth, which God bless him, because I want to know too. But the most recent article is from March 2024. I put it in the link below. in the description below. I'm sorry. If you could hit that subscribe button, thank you so much. For those who have subscribed, thank you so much. Hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I'm going to wrap this up. I might go live a little bit later, and I'd like to have another guest host on because I love YouTube's go live together function. And it's fun to rap with people. So thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribing. And be on the lookout for ancient animals being resurrected. We here on Rob's live stream, The Struggle. New first, so prepare, because it won't be canned goods. It'll have to be spears or whatever they defeated these animals with in the first place. That's what we'll have to use. So thanks for watching. If you could send me some prayers that I get this job, it would mean the world to me. And salute to you. Peace.